So how do I decide which LED strips to pair with our WLED controllers? With all the lingo that's involved in choosing addressable LEDs, it's easy to see how one could get overwhelmed. Since starting to sell our own controllers, the most common question I get then is, how do I decide which strip to get? Well, you watched this video. First of all, let's just understand a few terms. The first one we have is density. This is simply the number of individual LEDs that you get per meter, usually. Then we have the protocol. This is what language the strip itself speaks to essentially understand what colour to set each LED to. And it's usually some variant of WS28 something or SK68 something. And it doesn't matter which one you choose because our controllers can handle most of them. So simply just select which one you're using in the settings. Next we have colours. Most addressable LED strips like this one are at least RGB, which means they have red, green and blue diodes, which can be mixed together to make just about any colour. However, trying to mix all three together to make whites typically ends up looking subpar with either a reddish or bluish hue. So some strips like this one are RGBW or even RGBWW, and these whites are white and warm white, and some even let you choose the shade of white when you order. Having white diodes not only looks nicer, but it results in much brighter functional light and typically uses less power when set to white. Another thing to consider is water resistance. Many assembled LED strips come with some sort of coating to protect them from water, but by default, an LED strip that you build yourself will be a bare circuit board to give you better access to the contacts in case you need to cut and connect them together. LED strips that are PU coated are waterproof, but they will get warmer and potentially fail quicker, so only use IP rated strips if that is needed. And bear in mind that in some cases you may be able to get away with the splash resistance that you get from simply putting the strip itself inside a good quality diffuser channel. And finally, we need to talk about voltage. I'll probably do a whole video on this subject, but the key takeaway is that higher voltage is better for longer installs, but higher voltages typically sacrifice resolution of your effects as they tend to group LEDs together. For example, 12 volt strips usually only let you control down to a 3 LED chunk, and 24 volts down to 6 at a time. In contrast, 5 volt strips like this one allow you to control each individual LED, but more power may need to be injected as the runs get longer. So with all this in mind, the first thing you need to ask yourself is, what is this light for? This question helps us decide on a few of the above questions. If the light is going to be used functionally to light a space up, then you will almost certainly want to spend a little bit of extra money on an RGBW strip to get the nicest, brightest white light. If it's just to run some cool effects as a bit of extra ambiance, then you will likely be able to get away with a basic RGB strip. But remember, in this situation, higher density like this and lower voltage will look the best, as they will give you the highest resolution for your effects. The next question is, how long is this installation going to be? This will help you decide what voltage to choose. Again, if you're mainly going to be practically lighting a space, then higher voltages are probably better because you won't notice the resolution loss and you can get longer runs much more easily from a single power source without the colours degrading due to the voltage dropping. And if you want everything, practical light, which can also do incredible high resolution effects, you can always go for something like this, a nice high density 60 LED per meter 5 volt RGBW strip, and inject more power every few meters. Hopefully this summary helps you choose which LED strip is right for your use case. I've only covered strips in this video, but there are also varying types of seed lights and fairy lights available on the market as well, which are obviously great for festive lighting. As always, I hope you found this helpful. The links to everything that I've been using here will be on my website. And as always, remember, home is where the smart is.